Hey guys, Lego Empire here, and today we're doing another set review. This time we're doing it the 75311 Imperial Marauder Tank, or as in Star Wars lore is known, it is the MTT. What to say about this set? I do own two of them, as you can see here. This one is a speed build. Today we will not be doing a speed build of this set because I've already built one of them. I'm tempted to buy another two of these and then to make a bigger one, hopefully from all the pieces, if it's possible. So, going into the set just by itself right now, you do get pretty good, allotment for what you're spending. You get a MTT, which can carry troops. It has a driver place up here, a driver port that opens up from the top and the front, as you guys can see here. When you close it, you have the hatches on top as well, which are kind of tough. This one opens, and then also you can put someone in the rear turret, just pops off. And you do get four figures. You get the brand new, to this set at least, the Artillery Trooper, which has a mortar, which is a pretty solid build. We'll go into it later when we look at the figures. You get two Stormtroopers, which I have some notes on these figures that are kind of weird. And I'm not sure. I mean, I do like the change. However, it just seems a little bizarre. And then you get Gref Carga for Mandalorian Season 2. So, what do I think about all of these so far? It's, I believe it's $39.99 on the Lego store. And, it's about 500-600 pieces. You get four figures. And it's a solid army builder. You will have a lot of Gref Carga if you buy a couple of these. But you'll have a lot of Stormtroopers, so it's not as good as the anniversary set we had for the 20th anniversary with the dropship with the 5 figures and the 1 pilot. However, this, pretty solid. $40, get a tank. Definitely passable. But let's go ahead and get into the figures, and then we'll get into the build. So here we have, Alright guys, hey, we're back here with the figures. The first figure we're going to be looking at is Gref Carga, and honestly, he is a pretty solid figure. He looks great for 2021 for the Season 2. He has the white beard, he has a blaster, excellent leg printing, flows right from his tunic. No arm printing, but, I can live without it. The only thing that's kind of bizarre is that technically his beard would be black, not white. But besides that, back printing as well. Pretty solid piece. I mean, definitely a good figure. Even if you took the head off and put it on a different figure, it definitely could be good for... We are back here with the Imperial Troop Transport or Armored Marauder Tank figures. And so this is where things get a little weird because they have two human, faced figures. However, one of them is a African American male, and he has back printing and leg printing, which is nice. No arm printing. And let me put the helmet on him. Definitely a solid Stormtrooper helmet. I have no complaints here on that end. Definitely a good mold. And then if we look at the second figure, we get a Stormtrooper Female, or what looks like a female head. And it's bizarre to me because I know that the Imperials recruited on a... they recruited from all around the galaxy, and they mainly picked humans because that's just the way they did a lot of things. A lot of the Xeno races throughout Star Wars were reduced to slavery or forced work or worked in areas of the ships like engineering where people typically didn't want to work for, not a lot of money. But the figures in general are mixed gendered, and they have custom helmets, which is nice because typically in the past, most Stormtroopers that we got for Lego are just black-headed figures just because they never really gave them a personality. Now the last figure we're going to is going to be probably the reason a lot of people buy this set in the first place, and that is the brand new yellow marked artillery stormtrooper. He is quite interesting to look at, I'll be honest. He leg printing, no arm printing, which I wish he kind of had yellow stripes, but he has a pauldron. He has yellow torso, yellow legs, and a helmet. And a backpack, which is also pretty cool. He was first seen and only seen this season when Mando is defending Grogu while he's looking or calling for the Jedi, and before we see Boba Fett. And honestly, it's really cool. I don't even think he was in this set with the Marauder Tank. I remember seeing him in this scene with Grogu, but you know, maybe he was. Maybe I need to go rewatch season 2. Overall, though, figure is absolutely worth it. I hope we get more of this figure. I hope it's not just a one-off. It does use the same helmet as the other Imperials, but it just has yellow markings on it, like they took a highlighter to it. So, it's not the most creative, but it definitely is really cool. They definitely did what they could with what they had. And the mortar build in itself is very simplistic and nice. It's just 2 of these antenna pieces with 2 1x1 round tube studs and a plate at the bottom to keep it connected and flat. So overall, pretty solid. And then something else you get too with the set is these little really cute Imperial boxes that have the Imperial logo on them, and I have studs in them like they're treasure chests from the old Lego days. But let's go ahead and look at the tank now. Alright guys, so we are back. Just finished reviewing the figures, and we are going to be looking at the Marauder Tank itself. Now, the build is very quick. I built this set in about an hour, maybe 45 minutes. It only has 3 real stages, so it has the base, which you go through. It has the side pieces, which are here, which are identical, just flipped. You have the front, and then the top, 4 bags. I really do feel like this build, honestly, is one of the best builds that I've played with in a while, as far as it goes for the ground vehicles, because we don't really see... The last time we got one of these was way back in the day, and it was a smaller set. I think it was $20, and it was a Rebels set, I believe. And one of the really neat things, it does have these, you know, what you're used to, these stud shooters on top. But if you take off these 3 pieces, this red piece and this 2x2 flat plate, you can actually use it to, if you stick it on top here, you can have it go further than what it was supposed to. You also remove the slope. And if we put these 2 back on, that's why I usually do speed builds, because then I can get things done quicker. And so if I put this back on here, if I can get it to stick, there we go. It still can go just as far, and the reason for that is because they don't want this to be facing forward. They want it to be facing back only. And I thought that was a really weird technical limitation of the set, of having it face backward. But if you remove those 3 pieces, it can go... I mean, presumably, if I can get it to stay on here, it really isn't like attaching to this piece. You can sit it on there, it'll go all the way around, just like this. And I'll get a little closer so you guys can see it. But if you remove those 3 pieces, it can go all the way around. And I honestly, actually, I think if you put the slope piece back on... Yeah, so it's just those 2 pieces on the inside you have to remove. But if you remove them, this thing can go all the way around and defend the vehicle from anywhere you want it. So I thought that was kind of weird that they decided to have you do that. But as far as it goes for opening the set up, you have a little compartment inside here for storage and some figures. There's 2 seats in there. You could set them in. Also, you have these doors that open up on the side. They open from the top and the bottom, which is pretty unique on both sides. Those open up right there. And as far as the playset goes, this is honestly one of the coolest Imperial sets that I've seen, or post-Imperial sets rather, because the first one we've seen it now is, well, it was in Rebels, so it was an Imperial set. I will say that this set, honestly, in my opinion, is a must-buy from the 2021 wave. The only takeaway I have for this set, there's also flaps here on the sides that open. My only takeaway from this set is I wish they gave us maybe one more figure. I don't feel like Lego really gives us enough figures anymore. I feel like they kind of cheapen us out on them a little bit. The other thing that kind of is a little frustrating on its own right is the the fact we haven't got one of these. I'm hoping with the MTT. Also, the back opens up. You know, I'm finding more as I'm just sitting here playing with it with my ADHD. Stud shoes in the front as well. The big takeaway that I have for this is that I hope that with the AT-AT coming out later this year, I'm hoping that this set is the next UCS ground vehicle we see from the Imperials, because this is really cool. I'm hoping if we get this one, we'll also get a UCS Star Wars train. That would be wild. Throwback to Solo. But I mean, let me know, guys. Did you get this set? Did you buy two? Did you get one? Do you guys like the figures? Do you think the Imperial Trooper is just a highlighted Stormtrooper? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like the video. Definitely helps me out. Definitely gets me a little bit more exposure, which I'm working on. And until next time, I've been at Lego Empire. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.